And Thailand's Bhumjaithai party staging a conservative comeback in Sunday's elections, but falling short of securing an outright majority. The Election Commission to finalise results within 60 days. Although caretaker PM Anutin Charnvirakul, who dissolved parliament to call elections, has already claimed victory. Not just for his party, but for all Thai people, whatever their choice at the ballot box. Bhumjaithai well in the lead with 193 of the 500 seats, with almost all the votes counted, marking the best electoral performance for what had been just a few years ago, a mid-sized party relying primarily on provincial support. Reformist People's Party coming in second with 118 and Pheu Thai with 74. But despite a better-than-expected showing, Bhumjaithai fell short of the 251 needed for an outright majority to elect the next Prime Minister and form a government. The party officials gearing up for crucial coalition talks in the days ahead. More, we're joined by CNA's Saksith Saiyasombut, Jeremy Ko and Leong, all live from Bangkok. Saksith, let's start with you. Before these elections on Sunday, each party had made indications of where it might go, Saksith, if it had to form a coalition. Now that we have some results, close to final results from Sunday, how has anything changed for each party?
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. It's been 26 hours after polls have closed, and there's a very clear picture emerging right now. Even though the results that we have just heard, they are preliminary, 94% of the votes have been counted, and the Election Commission still has 60 days to officially verify them. But there's a very clear picture. The Bhumjaithai party is going to be returning to office with Prime Minister Anutin Charnvirakul, who has gambled on the snap election and has won handsomely, definitely raising and extending their lead, growing their numbers of seats that they have gained. And it's quite impressive if you look at the naked numbers here. They have swept 20 provinces completely. But there's also part of the scale up that they have been doing in the past few months, poaching and luring many politicians from other parties, also from the so-called banyais, the big houses, influential local families. 43 we have counted, resulting in at least 60 active MPs going into there. So that is the picture we are seeing here. Other parties not having so much to celebrate, as we're going to hear in a bit here. For example, the opposition People's Party, even though they have swept Bangkok, but it's been a sobering night. We'll hear about that in a second. Pheu Thai party, they have been kicked out and swept away out of their home province in Chiang Mai. We'll hear about that in a second. So what's going to happen next? As I said before, we are going to have to wait for the Election Commission to officially certify the results, and there have been many complaints about a lot of irregularities, and with activists calling for a complete recount of the elections. And but it's going to take some time. They have maximum 2 months to certify these elections, and only when they have announced the results, then we're going to have the next parliament coming in to vote for a new prime minister. But coalition-wise, well, it's going to be very much like the current one of the current caretaker government, and many of the ministers probably returning to the cabinet.
All right, Jeremy, we just heard Saksith that Pheu Thai, this time 74 seats. That's down 67 seats. Why this big loss?
Well, yes, indeed, Wei Su, as Saksith had mentioned earlier, there's little to nothing to celebrate for the Pheu Thai party. In fact, some political watchers might be tempted to even write the political obituary for the Pheu Thai party. Because despite being a dominant force in Thai politics for more than 2 decades, it's failed to win a single seat in Chiang Mai in this election. And that's extremely important because Chiang Mai is widely regarded as former Prime Minister Thaksin's political stronghold. Also, the party had chosen Chiang Mai and Lamphun, another province in the north, as the first 2 provinces for political activities by its prime ministerial candidate, Professor Yochanan Wongsawat, the nephew of Mr. Thaksin. Former Prime Minister Paetongtarn Shinawatra also made a 2-day visit to Chiang Mai late last month, underscoring how important the north is to them. So what we're seeing now is a major political upset for the Pheu Thai party in the north. So what went wrong for the party? I spoke with a political analyst earlier today, and here's what he said.
The elected MPs, most of the MP elected in the past, it's not about the personality. Okay, personality might play a little part, but the large part is about the party itself. So all the past 2 or 3 years that Pheu Thai, after Setha, after Pathongthan, I would say that the branding of Pheu Thai, is no longer trustworthy, I would say, compared to Thai 20 years ago.
And he adds that the future of the Pheu Thai party is linked to the fate of Mr. Thaksin, who's still in jail. And as long as Mr. Thaksin remains in jail, the party will continue to struggle. But what do Pheu Thai supporters think about the party's dismal showing in the latest election? I spoke with one of them, and let's have a listen.
I had hoped that there will be survive, even though I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I don't know if there will be any situation specifically about the party, but right now I think the party will survive, and I had hope about that because I admire their hard work and their thinking to provide to provide for the Thai people.
But is she too optimistic? Political watchers have warned that Pheu Thai could see more defections after its dismal showing. Now, in the northern region alone, 13 unsuccessful Pheu Thai candidates in the 2023 general elections had defected to other parties ahead of this election. And analysts have said that Pheu Thai could experience a continued outflow of political elites. Prof. Punarit, whom you heard earlier, also said that Mr. Thaksin has unfinished business, and that is to bring back his sister, former Prime Minister Yingluck, back from exile. So while Pheu Thai might be weaker now, maybe you should not still rule them out. And local media have reported that Prime Minister Anutin has hinted that Pheu Thai could still join his coalition.
All right, Waikit, Jeremy, they're referring to Thaksin Shinawatra. He's jailed, and his imprisonment likely dealing a significant blow to his party, Pheu Thai. For People's Party, which you have been following, they face legal issues of their own party leader and at least 5 others of his deputies.
Yeah, that's right. Now, very quickly, the People's Party People's Party's previous form, the Move Forward Party, was dissolved primarily because 44 of the MPs' case is now being brought up again. Back then, the party was dissolved because of their involvement in attempting to change the Les Majeste law, and the 44 MPs were then probed, but there was no significant next step until this morning. And that's why at the People's Party headquarters earlier, I asked the leader, Natapong Reng Panyawut, what the People's Party is preparing for. What worst case scenario are you preparing for? What safeguards can you do to ensure your leadership, your party structure and your seats are intact? Now, his answer had not many details, but he did reiterate something that he said before publicly. Take a listen.
I insist the thing what I said earlier, that we are not guilty for this case to propose the law using the power in the parliament.
Significantly, Mr. Natapon is one of the 44 MPs under the spotlight right now, so his political career is at stake. The party's number 2 prime ministerial candidate, Sirikanya Tansakun, she's also there. The number 3 candidate, however, Mr. Wirayut Kanchuchat, he is not. And before the elections, we both had a chat, and I asked him, he's legal-free, he's trouble-free, and I asked him what political and legal challenges his party may face after the elections. He said there's a lot of political innovation, but he hopes that things can be better after the elections.
Oh, thanks. Legal problems there, potentially, as well as what happens coming out of these crucial coalition talks. Thanks. That's Saksith Saiyasombut, Jeremy Ko and Leong reporting live there from Bangkok.